everybody, to another episode of Webe Reptiles. Today's episode is going to be about my beardy emergency supply kit for, I guess, your supplements, medications, and everything else you could need for your bearded dragon in case he gets sick, hungry, or whatnot. I've done this video before, but this one's going to be more a little bit of depth of what I use each product for. Okay, crickets are in the back. Let's see if I can catch him. But guess not. He'll fall in the box. He'll fall down there somewhere eventually. But sorry to get off topic. Okay, I'm gonna start off and show you guys. This is the my beardy closet. It has all my utensils and products and things that I need for my bearded dragons. Luckily, I have an entire closet for them. Up top, I have more hood fixtures, light fixtures, whatever I need. In here, I have eco dirt for my frogs, containers for giving baths, bags for shipping, more containers for eggs. I mean, I got containers for days for eggs. Of course, my substrates for my egg containers, Perlite and Vermiculite. Little label makers, extra bowls, more containers, and there's a bunch of other silly supplies in there. That's backgrounds for photo taking. Down here we got my crickets in one bin so they don't get out, but as you've seen, they do get out. And then over here I have a big bag of bran. This is whole wheat bran. This is what I add to my superworms for a substrate bedding. And then I add this bug feeder from beardies.co. Just so you guys know ahead of time, beardies.co is where I get all my supplies from. She's the best, Cheryl. I wouldn't buy anything from anybody else. I've kept my animals healthy, strong, and beautiful just because of the supplies I get from this woman here. Her name is Cheryl, just so you guys know. Email her. She's a great woman. She'll help you out. Right here I got one spray bottle full of my multi-purpose disinfectant cleaner. I use this to clean all my enclosures, bins, whatnot. It kills the smell pretty well. I mean, I barely notice it whenever after I use it. I mean, you could tell because, you know, beardy poop smells pretty bad. And then a couple shots of this, and it's pretty good. I normally use it a little stronger, but I've noticed that even with it being clear, you see all the foam, it's actually pretty strong as it is. It's pretty good stuff. I also have this in case I run out to backup. It's also eco cleaner, 99% all natural, concentrated cleaner. Those are my cleaning supplies. And then I have right next to that, I have my liquid calcium. Liquid calcium, I give it to all my adults. I sometimes give it to my babies as they get big enough to fit the syringes in their mouth. The calcium is good for it's a better source of calcium than the powder because you're guaranteeing that each animal is getting every bit of calcium when you syringe feed this. And I do feed this by syringe. Up here I have a container full of syringes. She also supplies those with them. And the little feeder, one small mouth CC and a little small tip CC and needles. And then I also have the thicker, more fatter ones for if I need to do critical care or carnivore care mixture. I'll explain that in a second. These are thicker ones, so that way the paste that you make can go through a large bigger hole, sorry about that. So that's the calcium. And then right next to that also I use a multivitamin mix bottle. This is the mix bottle, but the actual product I keep it refrigerated. I keep this refrigerated as well. Once you've made it, you want to make sure that you keep it refrigerated. This I offer 3 times a week. This keeps them, healthy, strong, and looking vibrant and beautiful. Here's another source of calcium that I use. This is Cheryl's own blend, and I tell you what, my guys will eat this stuff raw without even having to have feeders on or anything. They see it on the bottom of the tank and they love it. They eat it right up. This stuff is actually pretty good for them. I use this for all my babies. I use this container because it's easier to tap it out into the little feeder thing. I do not use this anymore. This is the calcium that I use. This calcium is great. I have it with D3, even though my lights do offer D3, so I'm just giving them that extra amount because it's babies. I like to give them that extra bit. Right next to that, Luckily it's brand new and I don't have to use it yet, but this is a generic version of Baytril. If I can focus. Let me see. No. Okay. It's a generic version of Baytril. This we would use for a upper respiratory infection. Very, very necessary to keep this around at all times. It's not that expensive, maybe $20 I think that bottle was, and that's the large amount. I always keep the largest amount in case, because I have a lot of animals. You don't want to be shorted of anything. And then we're coming down to my critical care, carnivore care, and probiotics. These three items here, I mix them together in case I have an animal or a beardie or anything that refuses to eat any proteins or any feeders. This is a good source of mashed up, vegetables, proteins, whatnot. This is your pure protein because it's carnivores for carnivore eaters, just straight meats and proteins and supplements. And then your probiotics. Probiotics is very important. I would suggest you also add this to dusting your crickets and stuff like that and feeders, because this helps them with the digestive system. It allows them to have a good flow. It doesn't have anything backed up. No old feeders, molding up and getting rotten inside their stomach, causing them any kind of, problems. So you want to keep a good probiotic always on hand to shake with your calcium. And that way you're giving them a roundabout good, variety of everything. It's good to offer them a lot of stuff, like powdered asparagus and alfalfa. And I mean, it's really good to give them as much of your vitamins as possible. Vitamins, multivitamins, that covers basically everything, but this is good. Your probiotics keeps them flushed. These are only used in case your dragons do not want to eat and they're cutting off on proteins for like a week or two. If 2 weeks go by and they haven't eaten, you want to make a mixture of all three. You would use 3 times, 1 time, half a time. In other words, so the spoon. She sends you with a little spoon. You would do 3 fat spoons, 1 small spoon, or 1 regular spoon, and then half a spoon of this. Mixed up in some nice baby food, or you can just do a water. It also works as well. This is some orange powder. This is for feeders. I also have another backup bottle, a container of probiotics. You can get probiotics at the store, but to be honest with you, I'm just happier buying it from Cheryl because I know that stuff's made for my animals. Also have a bug feeder. This was for my crickets, supers, and whatnot. Good goat load, makes them fat and healthier. Some cleaning rags. We have some backup UV bulbs. Only use the best, Repti-Sun 10.0. I would never suggest using any other type of bulb. I also have these bulbs here. These are called ceramic heat bulbs. A lot of people try to get me to explain to them what these do. These do not produce any light. You need these for wintertime, or if your house gets under 68 degrees. If it gets under 68 degrees, you want to try to get one of those ceramic bulbs to keep their enclosures nice and warm. They don't produce any kind of light. All they do is produce heat. Also, in my beardie room, I keep one on the fan at all times, so that at nighttime I just turn it on. And it's not directly on the tanks, but it keeps the entire room a good 80-85 degrees, luckily. That's a 150 watt bulb right there, so it's a good production. Up here I got, of course, everybody should keep their hand sanitizer when dealing with reptiles or feeders of any kind. And then, I got cricket feeders, extra enclosures for animals that I might, end up getting. And that's about it, This is the Bearded Dragon supply kit. I use these on a daily basis. This isn't like in case of emergency. This is on a daily basis, all my supplements. Also have my decoration, my assortment of drag-along leashes and leashes from Olgs and Beth Greathouse's daughter. She does some really nice ones. The Olgs do nice ones too. The Olgs have been around for a lot longer. Beth's Greathouse's, she goes, see, you get a little difference on them. You can see one has the ring around it so it doesn't rip through the plastic, so it'll last longer. And then they bedazzle them up with I know it's silly, but little bearded dragon charms on the leashes, which I thought were pretty cool. And then you got your leashes that are nice. They all have different patterns, colors, and stuff. And then you got your drag-alongs. Drag-alongs come with a more secure button, and then you got your leashes that come with your standard buttons. Both great products. Suggest them both. Your drag-alongs are for your higher end, and your leashes are good for everybody. Again, I guess that's about it. There's really not a lot needed as long as you're caring for your animals properly. Luckily, hopefully you won't need to use any of these products as far as the critical care and carnivore care, but these you want to use on a daily basis. This is a daily supplement. Hopefully I never have to use the bait trail, but you never know. That's just part of the reptile business. I mean, when you have a hobby like this and you collect tons of animals, you need to have plenty of supplements, plenty of supplies for whatever occasion. Unless you have tons of money and you can go ahead and just take your animal to the vet and you don't have to worry about paying $200 per dragon to be visited, then you don't have to worry about carrying all this. But you want to make sure that see, this isn't anything to cure your animals of anything. This is just a preventative and to keep them healthy. You don't do this to think, well, I'm not going to the vet because I have all these things here. If your animal requires to see a vet, take them to the vet, please. There are conditions and situations that we cannot handle ourselves unless we are trained, certified veterinarians. And I don't know many people that carry or hold a bunch of these animals. So this is just a preventative, a precaution, but it is not a solution. So if it is a situation that needs to be handled by a vet, please do me a favor and take your animal to the vet. Also, I gotta keep a scale always on hand. You get these scales here. This was actually a Walmart kitchen scale. Not a big deal. It just weighs up to 5,000 grams. Not that I'll ever have a dragon that big. God, I wish. But also try to keep your area clean. You don't want to transfer any kind of germs or dirt or anything like that to your supplements and your supplies, because what you feed your animals, it's what they're going to take. So if there's any bugs or dirt or anything like that that gets mixed in, your animals are going to eat it if you give it to them. So try to prevent all that. Keep your areas nice and clean. Doesn't take much, it's just like once a week, take everything off, wipe the counters down, put everything back. That's about it, guys. If you have any more questions or concerns, feel free to ask. Enjoy.